This next treat for all of us will be William Joseph, a pianist and composer, telling us about the song, "O America," which he wrote. This amazing song will then be sung by Pia Toscano, who you will recognize as the marvelously gifted singer who sang the Star-Spangled Banner at this year's Memorial Day concert at the National Mall. I now turn the podium over to William Joseph and Pia Toscano.
Good evening. It's so great to be here. Such an honor to be here with you this evening in such a beautiful, beautiful place of worship and a place of gathering to come together. I'm just honored to be a part of this program, and I find comfort standing near a piano. So this is my podium right now. No, in all sincerity, I just wanted to feel as connected as I can with you, and just wanted to actually just share before we perform this song, "Oh America," just to give you a history of how this song came to be. I really feel like there were a lot of miracles and things that took place, and several years ago, I was invited. For this huge honor, I was invited to play for the Vice President of the United States and 25 senators and their wives in the Vice President's home on the Naval Base in Washington, D.C. And this felt like a heavy, exciting opportunity, but it was also daunting. And I felt like, oh man, I don't know how I'm going to hold conversations with these people because I don't know if I'm up to date on everything, and I felt really overwhelmed. And I also felt an immense opportunity at this moment. I had been noticing that this year in my life, I had been noticing that there was a lot of turmoil in the country, more than I had ever seen, and I started noticing a stronger division amongst people, even within the same political parties, and it was sad to me, and I just started feeling this stirring in my soul, like, okay, I want to go and I want to perform, and this is something that felt like an impossible dream to me, but I felt like for this one evening, I just want to do something that might just bring a little bit more unity into this room with all of our leaders. And I know that sounds crazy as a piano player just coming in to perform for these people, but that was the prayer in my heart, and I actually spent days just kind of with prayer and with thought and just sitting at the piano, just having that as my prayer and my hope to create something that might bring just a little more unity and bring these people together just a little bit. And so I poured my heart and soul into creating something, and finally it was time to go and to perform. And again, it was daunting. I remember showing up and like security was really tight there, just so you know, checking the trunk, and they knew everything about me, more things I even knew. And I remember actually seeing a little security camera, and I could see myself standing there, but it was like from an aerial view, and I looked up and I didn't see anything, and I kind of looked at the security guy and I was like, "Satellite, huh?" And he just looked at me. He didn't think that was funny at all. And so we just continued on in. And they sat me right down next to the vice president and these senators. And it's like, "Oh, how are you?" And it was daunting. Finally, it was time to perform, and I got to play a handful of songs. And at the very end, I just said, I've created a song that I want to share with you, and I actually just boldly, in the boldest way that I knew how, just said, I just plead with everyone here that we can just find just a little more tolerance and love, that we can come together beyond our agendas, but just to come together for people. And I played this song for them. And it was an incredible experience. I had so many people that came up to me afterwards and just had a lot of tender moments with these people. And after that was done, I went home and I thought, okay, that was it. Thank you. I felt so much gratitude. Thank you for letting me have that experience. And I felt this unity in that evening for that moment. And a couple of years later, after that, I never did anything with the song. I actually never really even shared with anyone that I wrote that song specifically for that. A couple of years later, I had the opportunity to go into the studio with this legendary producer, David Foster, and record this album. And we were looking for all this music, and we needed one more ballad. And I had this song. I didn't tell him why I wrote it, and he loved this melody, and we ended up recording it, and I released it on an album, and I made a very intentional decision not to call it anything patriotic because it didn't have lyrics at the time. It was just instrumental at this point, and so I called it "Sweet Remembrance of You," and so it went out to the world. And about a month after it was released, I received an email. I didn't know who this person was, and I looked at it and I started reading. Turns out it was the songwriter, the lyricist from who happened to write Josh Groban's "You Raise Me Up." And everyone knows that. It's such a beautiful, inspiring song. And so I realized that, and I was like, okay, you've got my attention. And he said, I hope you don't mind, but I've put a lyric to your song. And I thought, no, I do not mind. And so I opened this document to read these lyrics. I was kind of nervous because this was my song, like that I just had, and who knows what it's going to be about. And I start reading these lyrics. And I could barely speak because the lyrics to this song, the title was called "Oh America." And it outlined the prayer in my heart to come together, to stand with our country and together as a people, and to stand as one. And I was overwhelmed. I was actually, at first I was confused because I had never told anyone about this. And the song didn't reference patriotism in the title. But I quickly realized that it was very inspired. Shortly after this, I wrote back and I shared with him, the miracle about this. And I just said, okay, I love this. This is perfect. And he said, okay, great. I'd like to pitch it to the Celtic Women. They're about to do this big American tour celebrating American history and patriotism. And so the next thing I know, they released it as their lead single. And it was funny because after they released it, all of a sudden I started getting messages after message and calls and everything from all of these big industry people going, this song is going over so amazing. And they said, everybody's standing up, and it's the standing ovation every night. And I was so excited. And I said, can you send me the recording? And they said, no. It hasn't been released publicly, so you're not allowed to hear it. So I said, okay. So they said, but we would love to invite you to come and hear it for the first time. Come meet us in New York in Radio City Music Hall. and again. Sorry. I sat there in anticipation, just so nervous. It's like, please don't mess this up. And the moment it started, I knew. It was like they nailed it. And I couldn't speak for the rest of the night. And boy, am I grateful that I don't have to sing this tonight. I'm sorry, Pia. There's been so many beautiful things that have happened with this song, and it's since been, played for really amazing events and at fireworks shows and PBS specials and things. And I just wanted to share one thing to bring it full circle. The one thing I didn't share is that as I sat there speechless and just overwhelmed listening to this song, at the end of it, I watched everybody stand up at Radio City Music Hall, and men and women were crying, and I looked around, and I felt like my prayer that I had offered years before was coming true. I know that this is my experience with this song. I know that there are so many other beautiful things that each of us can do and have done to bring people together, to just bring just a little more love, a little more unity, a little more patriotism, a little more acceptance, a little more tolerance. And I'm honored to be here tonight by invitation of United We Pledge and the good people that are around them and that they've brought in. Like, this is a beautiful cause that we can all be here, of different faiths, and this beautiful St. George Interfaith Choir, and just like, this is what it's supposed to be about. This is what America is. It's differences, people with differences coming together. And that is my prayer. That's my prayer, that we can put differences aside and come together as one. And I want to leave those thoughts with you, and now invite my dear friend, who is so amazing and the kindest person you could ever meet. She tours all over the world. You might see her with Bocelli or David Foster, or she's on Netflix show. She is, I can't believe that we got here, and she came tonight, and she's so incredible. And please give a warm welcome to Pia Toscano.
Calling me to be true to thee, true to thee. I will be. Oh, America, you're weeping. Let there be I will take